Imagine a horizon where the sea stretches endlessly, shimmering beneath the relentless sun, and the wind carries the scent of salt and hope. For generations, the Atlantic's western edge has been a lifeline for the coastal communities of West Africa, especially in countries like Senegal. These shores have witnessed the daily ritual of men launching their brightly painted boats, pirogues, into the rolling surf, guided by ancestral knowledge and the promise of a good catch. Once, the ocean's bounty seemed limitless. Today, that certainty has vanished, replaced by uncertainty, hardship, and a desperate struggle for survival. The story begins with the simple act of fishing, a practice as old as humanity itself, yet one now fraught with new and daunting challenges. In the early mornings, before the first light touches the sand, fishermen set out with hope, their nets ready to harvest the ocean's gifts. But as the years pass, the nets return lighter. The catch dwindles. The fish, once abundant, have become elusive, scattered by forces beyond the control of local hands. The root of this crisis is industrial overfishing, a colossal enterprise that has reshaped the seascape, disrupted livelihoods, and set in motion a cascade of human suffering and resilience. Since 2006, the waters off West Africa have been under siege by massive industrial fishing fleets, many of them foreign. These ships are steel giants, equipped with vast nets and sophisticated technology, capable of hauling in thousands of tons of fish in a single voyage. The scale of their operations dwarfs the modest efforts of artisanal fishermen. The numbers are staggering. In recent years, these fleets have extracted around 2,000 tons of fish or more from the region's waters, often without regard for the delicate balance of marine ecosystems or the needs of local communities. Regulations exist, protected zones intended to safeguard artisanal fisheries, agreements that should shield the most vulnerable from exploitation. But the reality on the ground is very different. Investigations by organizations such as Greenpeace Africa have revealed a disturbing pattern. Industrial vessels encroach on artisanal fishing zones with impunity, bribing local authorities and ignoring restrictions. Trawlers drag their heavy nets across the seabed, destroying habitats and indiscriminately scooping up everything in their path. The destruction is swift and efficient, but the consequences are dire. For the fishermen of Senegal and neighboring countries, the impact is immediate and personal. The sea, once a source of stability and dignity, has become a place of loss. The catch that once fed families and supported entire villages is gone. The economic fallout ripples through communities. Jobs vanish, food security collapses, and the fabric of daily life unravels. The boats that once returned, heavy with fish, now come back empty, and the markets where women sold the day's catch stand quiet, their stalls brimming with unsold hope. This crisis is not contained to the shoreline. It is a force that propels people onward, away from home, in search of survival. Since the depletion began, thousands have embarked on perilous journeys across the ocean. In 2023 alone, approximately 40,400 people arrived in the Canary Islands, fleeing hunger and economic despair. Their vessels, often nothing more than fragile wooden boats or inflatable rafts, are packed beyond capacity, driven by desperation and the slim chance of a better life in Europe. For many, the journey ends in tragedy. The sea that once promised life now demands a terrible price. The scale of overfishing is not merely a local issue. It is a global crisis, one that threatens the balance of marine ecosystems and the well-being of communities far beyond the shores of West Africa. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, by 2019, just 64.6% of marine fish stocks were being fished at levels considered biologically sustainable. The numbers continue to decline, a stark warning that the ocean's bounty is not infinite. Overexploitation is pushing more and more species to the brink, undermining the resilience of the entire food web. Globally, the consequences are profound. Overfishing disrupts the delicate choreography of life beneath the waves. When industrial fleets remove vast quantities of fish, sometimes 2,000 tons or more at a time, they upset the balance of predators and prey, diminishing biodiversity and weakening the very systems that support life in the ocean. Coral reefs, seagrass beds, and other critical habitats are destroyed by destructive fishing methods like trawling. The loss of these ecosystems has knock-on effects, reducing the ocean's ability to absorb carbon and buffer against climate change. Yet, the story is not only one of loss and despair. Throughout the world, communities, scientists, and activists are fighting back, determined to restore the health of the seas and safeguard the livelihoods that depend on them. Innovative solutions are taking root in unexpected places, offering hope that the tide can yet be turned. In Japan, for example, the shell nurse technology represents a beacon of possibility. Artificial reefs, crafted from discarded shells, are installed in coastal waters to provide shelter and breeding grounds for fish and other marine life. These reefs mimic the complexity of natural habitats, encouraging the return of species that had vanished from overfished areas. The results have been striking. In more than 20,000 locations across Japan, these structures are helping to regenerate fisheries and restore biodiversity. A similar initiative has taken hold in the Gulf of California, Mexico, where around 200 artificial reefs have been installed in the Bay of La Paz. Built using shells donated by local fishermen, these reefs are a testament to the power of community action. Just 3 months after installation, scientists observed a marked increase in the density of several fish species. The reefs provide a haven for marine life, offering a glimpse of what is possible when humans work with rather than against nature. These projects are not isolated experiments. They are part of a broader movement to rethink humanity's relationship with the sea. By embracing sustainable fishing practices, enforcing existing regulations, and investing in ecosystem restoration, it is possible to rebuild depleted fish stocks and revive coastal economies. The potential benefits are enormous. According to the FAO, recovering overexploited populations could boost global fishery production by 16.5 million tons and generate an additional $32 billion in annual revenue. This is not only a matter of economics, but also of justice and equity, of ensuring that those who depend most on the ocean are not left behind. At the heart of this struggle are the voices of people whose lives are bound to the sea. In Senegal, fishermen recall a time when the ocean was generous, when a single night's work could feed a family for days. Now, they speak with a mixture of pride and sorrow, determined to protect a way of life that is slipping away. Women, who have always played a central role in processing and selling the catch, face new challenges as markets shrink and incomes dwindle. Young people, seeing few prospects at home, make the agonizing decision to leave, risking everything for a chance at something better. Their stories are echoed in coastal communities around the world. From the Philippines to Peru, from Norway to Namibia, the challenge is the same. How to balance the needs of today with the demands of tomorrow. How to share the ocean's gifts without exhausting them. The answer lies in cooperation, innovation, and the recognition that the sea is not merely a resource to be exploited, but a living system to be cherished and protected. Change will not come easily. Powerful interests are invested in the status quo. Corruption and weak governance allow illegal and unsustainable practices to flourish. But every day, individuals and organizations are pushing back, holding authorities to account, and demanding that the rules be enforced. International agreements, such as those negotiated through the United Nations, are setting new standards for transparency and sustainability. Grassroots campaigns are raising awareness and building solidarity across borders. Education is a vital part of this transformation. By teaching the next generation about the importance of marine conservation, communities can foster a culture of stewardship and resilience. Schools, NGOs, and local leaders are working together to pass on traditional knowledge while embracing new techniques. Fishermen are learning how to diversify their livelihoods, supplementing fishing with aquaculture, tourism, or other sustainable ventures. Technology, too, has a role to play. Satellite monitoring, electronic catch documentation, and real-time data sharing can help track fishing activities and ensure compliance with regulations. Mobile apps allow fishermen to report illegal incursions and receive up-to-date information on weather and market prices. With the right tools, even small-scale operators can compete and thrive in a rapidly changing world. Yet, for all the promise of innovation, the most important changes are often the simplest. Restoring fish stocks requires time and patience, allowing nature the space to heal. Setting aside protected areas, limiting catches to sustainable levels, and respecting the rhythms of the sea are time-tested strategies that work when given the chance. In places where these measures have been implemented, the results are clear. Fish populations rebound, ecosystems recover, and communities regain their footing. The journey ahead is long, and the stakes could not be higher. For those whose lives are entwined with the sea, there is no alternative, no land, no comfort, just a boat, fish, and the struggle to survive. But there is also hope. The ocean's resilience is remarkable, and its ability to regenerate is astonishing when given the opportunity. By acting now, by choosing sustainability over short-term gain, cooperation over conflict, and stewardship over exploitation, we can ensure that the sea remains a source of life and abundance for generations to come. The sight of a fisherman at dawn, casting his net into the vastness, is a reminder of our enduring connection to the natural world. His fate and the fate of the ocean are intertwined. As the world wakes up to the reality of overfishing and its consequences, the call to action grows louder. It is a call that demands courage, compassion, and a willingness to change, and the future of the world's fisheries depends on the choices we make today. The promise of 2,000 tons of fish, a symbol of abundance and prosperity, can only be fulfilled if we honor the limits of the sea and the dignity of those who depend on it. In the end, the ocean gives as much as it is allowed. Its generosity is boundless, but not infinite. To restore what has been lost, to rebuild what has been broken, we must listen to the science, to the communities, to the lessons of the past. Only then can we hope to find balance and ensure that the story of the sea is one not of loss, but of renewal and hope.